right, you guys, we are live in effect as I try to get this out to a couple more people because we want as many people as possible in tonight's show. If you guys are joining us for the very first time, I am your host, Coach Terrence Wood. It's Thursday, so you guys already know what time it is. It's the Locker Room Show. This is where we bring the truth. We let the parents, the players, the coaches that are serious about this football industry, you guys, learn the truth from people who are in the industry and do it well. So I have none other who I am going to introduce first. My brother to the right, that is Q, the guru, the one that's with us every Thursday. How's it going tonight, superstar?
What's going on, Coach? What's going on, man? We got some hot topics. So anyone that's viewing this right now, send out a text, shoot that out for us. Make sure and subscribe because we got some good stuff.
Definitely, man. As always, the industry never hesitates, you guys, to give us great topics, things to talk about, real-time stuff that you guys are going through, and tonight's none different. So we have a very, very special guest tonight, you guys. Usually we don't get these people during the season. It's the heat of training camp, kickoffs coming for the first game. These guys are tight, these coaches, these administrators, different people with the schools, but Coach Ellis, Coach Kai Ellis, has been gracious enough to grant us some of his time, you guys. So we definitely want to take advantage of it. This is somebody that had an amazing career at the junior college level. A matter of fact, junior college All-American, went off to the University of Washington and was an all-conference performer there, then came back and decided to coach young men and be a leader of young men, and now is currently the defensive coordinator at Adams State, a Division II school. And gracious for your time tonight, Coach. How's it going?
Going well. Thanks for having me. Really blessed to be on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know those boys are popping pads and trying to win roster spots, and we definitely appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right. So, hey, let's get right into it. I already see some people with us. I see Coach Foss with us. He says, let's go, Coach Wood. Getting it going as always. I see Mama Victoria from Colorado, not too far from Alamosa, where Adams State is at. She says, I'm ready. And then, of course, the great Jimmy Rucker says, let's get
Big
after
Jimmy.
it. So, yeah, Big Jimmy out there in Texas said, let's get after it. So, hey, you guys, we got a great show in store tonight. Now, if you're joining us for the first time in the locker room, we go after the topics that are trending, some of the things that you guys are going through in real time. And this is a big one, you guys. I never seen anything like this. And unfortunately, we're talking about somebody that has lost their life recently out in Texas. And, this is something that obviously made national news. This gentleman that actually is suspected and accused of this murder is the brother, I guess, of Aqib Talib, former Denver Bronco. And, it's crazy. A matter of fact, Aqib Talib, as you guys see here, accused of starting a fight. So this was a little league game, you guys, where somebody actually lost their life. And I want to ask you, Coach Ellis, have you ever seen a headline like this? Is this something that just goes along with the times and mental health? What were your thoughts when you saw this?
I think that there's a couple of things here. You got parents or helicopter parents who think they're the ones that are playing. But when you're accepting a role in terms of being a coach, you're here to mentor these kids on how to deal with success, how to deal with things that don't go your way. And obviously respecting the ones that are going to spend time with your children. So anytime that you feel like you need to go fight somebody or kill somebody for that matter, which is really extreme, like what are we teaching these kids? All right. Like some of them we got a lot of kids who don't come from 2-parent homes. They might have 1-parent homes, and how to coach a kid tough and all those things. But when you're displaying something like this, right, it takes away from the sport and it takes away from what you're trying to do. I also want to add, like a lot of these coaches and a lot of these referees here in these little leagues, they're not getting paid anything. They're spending a lot of time sitting in rain, shine, having their own gas money, giving money and rides to these kids. right? And there's no need for that. Now, I mean, I get it. You watch NFL and you watch college and you think that you know the plays and you might know, but you don't have no idea. So when you're on that level, you got to keep in mind that we're here to develop the guys, and we want to see this, give them one thing where they can feel successful and take with them.
No, that's a great point, Coach. I mean, Q, what were your thoughts, man? I mean, obviously you're in Texas, you're not in Dallas, but you're in Houston, so I know you heard about this.
Yeah.
You know, is this a part of the football culture? We don't hear this in basketball, baseball as much. You know, what is this, man?
I think, well, first thing that, that really bothered me is, unfortunately, it's like, Keeb is a fellow Jayhawk, man. So that really kind of that really kind of hit me different. Akib is, if you kind of go back, he's been in a couple of instances, in regards to off the field situations. I think what young players need to understand is, especially the ones that are acquiring these NIL deals, even if it's your brother, you have to be careful about the company you keep. And I think that that's something that kind of surprises me, is because you would think a key being the caliber of player that he was, and especially being, in a public area where everyone knows you, you're back home in Dallas where he's actually from, that you're gonna, at least have some type of talk with your family members, like, hey, at least when we're out and about, I can't have any of that foolishness around me, because I don't want my image tainted, because I took my whole career to build this, and one instance can destroy that. Now, the caliber of player he was, even if he might have been, had somewhat of, some may consider, a great career, Hall of Fame career, whatever the case may be, probably not now. So you all definitely, young players, always be mindful of, the company that you keep around you, because it can ruin your career.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, man.
Instantly.
That's a great point. And not just career, somebody lost their life.
Yeah,
so
people
were going to prison, for this. So I just really feel bad, you obviously, for the family of the lost one, but for all of those young children and their families that had to witness this. Supposedly the young man who was murdered, his son was out there. So it's really tragic, you guys, and hopefully we can have more common sense when we're out trying to serve these young people. Tom Brady has made the news, and both of you guys obviously know how much Tom puts into his craft. He doesn't play around. He's going to go down as the GOAT, probably the greatest quarterback of all time in some people's opinion. But Tom recently, as you saw here, missed 10, 11 days of training camp, which isn't normal for Tom, and it was for personal reasons. And many people believe that there's some marital issues going on. So I'll throw this one at you, Coach Ellis. I mean, I know that you also played some professional ball. How often is it that you see guys getting 10, 11-day breaks in training camp?
Well, I guess that's a loaded question because it depends on who it is.
Right.
Tom won all these Super Bowls, and so they don't need to see what Tom can do. Tom can step on the field, right? Got released, some other team would pick him up. He'd be playing just like that. He's actually running the offense, opposed to an undrafted guy who has no idea how the offensive playbook. They haven't seen you play it down, right? So they're not fully invested in you, but they trust Tom enough to where you could, take a couple of days off, 10 days. It could be a whole month if you wanted to, all right? Yeah. And he's too smart for that.
Yep. Q, talk to me a little bit. I mean, Tom, we usually don't see him taking away time. Do you think it's really something serious, or you think that he just needs a break?
No, I think it's something very serious. Because you're talking about a man of his caliber. With the contracts that he's had, and I'm sure the current one that he's playing in, that it could, financial situations can definitely affect you, and he could be harmed in that way, losing half maybe of what he's worked all of his career to have. 11 days, I'm sure he probably needs even more than that. Like Coach said, he'll be ready to go at the beginning of the season, I'm sure. But I'm sure he needs time to mentally prepare, because that's a huge issue.
Yeah, and this also illustrates, you guys, that once you get to a certain level of fandom or celebrity, nothing's in private, so he probably is going through something serious, and this doesn't help that everybody knows that he's taking this time. So, keep that in mind when we're big time. Things come with it, and we have to fight through our personal stuff too. We are on to our next topic, you guys, and we're bouncing to the college level of football. And this one's real interesting because Miles Brennan, who was a top-tier quarterback coming out of high school. So once again, this illustrates that, hey, what you did in high school doesn't mean nothing at the next level. But Miles Brennan has decided to hang it up, you guys. He said, I'm working too hard to continue to be placed on the back burner. But the interesting thing is Miles Brennan had some NIL deals. He had Canes, he had Smoothie Kings, Game Coin, and he gets to keep all the money. He gets to keep all the money. Right. And
for now,
I don't know how much it was, but Louisiana, SEC, I'm sure they quarterback. I'm sure he made some money. So talk to me a little bit, Q, as far as him getting to keep the money. You think it is what it is, or you think that he should be on the hook to give some of that back?
No, Coach. No. I feel like he should be on the hook to give it back because it's still a contract, and that's something that these young players and even you high school guys, that are getting NIL opportunities. That's a contract. That's something that you have to fulfill. These companies are partnering with you and paying you for you to strap it up and for you to be out there doing what you do best on between those white lines. So, in my opinion, this situation is gonna change. I don't think it's gonna harm in the NIL situation, but it's gonna change it because all of a sudden now you're gonna start seeing way tighter parameters to make sure that these companies is going to start protecting themselves. Like, we'll pay you, but we're going to have to protect ourselves and put some type of clause in there. Hey, if we don't see you out there strapping it up, we're going to need that back for sure.
That's a great point right there. Talk to me, Coach Ellis. I mean, you were a big time recruit coming out of San Francisco City College. You would have had some NIL deals. Do you think back when you were at UW, you would have been ready to do business off the field?
I don't think, my parents would have to do it, but I think you're a young kid and you don't know any better. And a lot of guys are used to not having nothing. So when they're dangling money in there, it's not like you're going to really read through the fine print of when you're taking all this money. But you are an investment. If you look at it that way, you're an investment and they want that investment with a return on it.
Right.
So if you go and don't do with your deal to bargain it, you will get sued.
I know that it's not as big at your level, at the Division II level, but is this something that you guys have had to take time away to talk to the kids about?
We are, but we also have to let them know that we are on a smaller level. This is really, I think the NLI deals are really for the upper college level, like the Division Ones, for that, where they got the buku money, the Alabamas, SECs, and Texas. Yeah, but you're going to have to cap it because there's going to be people to where they can just take the money and then try to transfer because the portal's big right now. So they're going to have to put a rule where I get an NLI deal here, collect the money, put a deposit, go somewhere else and get another NLI deal, which is pretty much robbery. So they probably made over $3 million by the time everything's done.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be some type of rules put in place. Some type of rules.
Oh, you're right.
Companies won't continue taking those kind of losses.
Yeah, they'll catch on, man. And these kids, they won't be able to keep playing around with that money, like you guys said. We're on to our next topic, you guys, and this is a big one, especially at the college level. And this is something that has gone on for years. Obviously, some of the lower level schools, MAC schools maybe in the Mountain West are trying to get a check, and they're playing the big boys, the Alabamas, the Georgias of the world. But recently, you guys, fans from Kent State is saying, hold on here. You guys got us playing Washington, your alma mater, Coach Ellis. You got us playing Oklahoma. You got our boys playing Georgia. Do we need some money? What's going on? Are we going to have a team after these 3 games? What's your opinion on this, Coach Ellis? I know that the athletic department needs money, but is there a point where you're jeopardizing the kids a little too much?
In college football, I really don't think. There's some universities don't really care about all that stuff. It's really about money making. And so if you're looking to make the big bucks, you do schedule those big schools. But now if you're talking about it from a coaching standpoint, will you still be able to keep a job at the end of the season because you didn't win enough games?
Facts.
Great point. Great
I
point.
mean, you have like Kent State, obviously you're it's not like the cream of the crop, but you're still, I mean, they're still competitive, but you lose your starters. What does your second deep look like? You're 2 deep and 3 deep.
Yeah.
So
they better be ready to play. Some of them freshmen better be ready to play. Talk to me a little bit, Q. I mean, you're at Kent State. Maybe you're a freshman, sophomore on the team. You see Georgia, Oklahoma, Washington back to back. Are you pumped up? Are you feeling like, man, they putting us out to dry?
No, I mean, you have to, as a player, you're going to have to welcome the challenge. But I definitely agree as far as the overall athletic department, to make your program knowing that you're not that tier of program and make them run the gauntlet like that. That's purely a money grab, for exposure, because they know obviously with TV networks or, or conferences or whatever that they're playing against it, they'll get a piece of that. But that's not smart. The coaches and ultimately the players are the ones that are going to end up having to pay the price. And then, as coach said, you look back, you got up, all your starters are beat up, and you're 0-8. So that doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
you're going to roll into a tough league schedule if you don't have the players that are your starters because they got beat up in the preseason. So that's a big one. We're going to have to keep our eye on how the Kent State Golden Eagles do. We're on to our next topic, you guys, and this is True Frosh playing time. True Frosh playing time. Obviously, Coach, we got a lot of high school, junior college kids want to play college ball one day, and they're wondering what it's like to get on the field early as a freshman. You guys are in training camp right now. Do you guys already know who's going to play early, or is that something that gets figured out once camp starts?
We have a general idea, and there's guys that we invest in where they don't turn out to be anything because we've already given them their money. And then the prize, who's a walk-on, who comes in and works their butt off. Their first meetings are every single time. They want to figure out what else they can do. They're coming in for extra film and going every single assignment right, to where you got a guy who you invested in and they can't do any of that right. And at the same time, they're being a headache because they're sitting in your office wondering else they can do to get better. And we already told them already.
Yeah. So they're probably going to get less money or be evaluated in the spring, is what you're saying.
Or they'll just sit in the back and watch somebody else do it. Next man up.
Facts.
There you go. There you go. Q, talk to me, man. I mean, you were somebody that played early as a freshman.
Yeah.
Is it one defining thing or a couple things that you thought led to you getting on the field early for the Jayhawks?
I think it's the mental preparation. I think as a freshman, you have to be where in practice literally makes perfect. Pay attention to the upperclassmen and play fast. That's one thing that I always got embedded in me, from guys that came before me. Is play faster than everyone else. A freshman, because you'll stick out because you're adjusting to the speed of the game quicker than the other freshmen and sophomores are. And know that playbook. Know your plays, and if you're in the secondary, no busted coverages. If you're a linebacker or D-line, be in the right gap. That's what gets you on the field.
Let me ask you this, Coach, and that's fabulous, Q. You guys pay attention to these nuggets because some of you guys are trying to earn a spot. Some of you guys are trying to get on the traveling squad. So this is where you get those nuggets. Coach Ellis, talk to me about a sign. If I'm a young player, I'm a freshman, redshirt freshman, what's a sign that I can peep out where I'm like, okay, Coach is paying attention. He's serious about putting me on the field. I need to get my T's crossed and my I's dotted. What's a sign or something like where I'm like, okay, Coach is serious?
I think body language, eye contact, being able to do everything that we're coaching to do correctly, and not making the same mistake as the guy that's in front of you. Those are the right there. And I tell the guys, even if you're a starter, you want to be the guy, or you want to be a guy. So a lot of guys got to take that out instead of taking things, personalizing things, and understand that, hey, this guy might be doing something a little bit better than me, but you got to be able to put in extra work so you don't come back out to the next practice and make the same mistakes.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. All right. Well, that is some great advice right there, you guys. And we are on to our next portion of the show, which is actually the lightning round, the round where it all goes down. And this is a fan portion that is the favorite portion of the show. And we got our little sounder right there where, there you go. So this is where we put you through a little Q&A, a little word association, where we're going to be laying out some topics, some people. It's a smorgasbord of different things we're going to have for you. You say this, the first thing that comes to your mind. Now, you got 60 seconds to do it. So I got my stopwatch ready, and this isn't just for practice. We actually got a reward for you. So our number is 13. If you can get 13 or higher in 60 seconds, then you are the winner. And you get a hotel stay on us. And you also get a dinner. A dinner on us. It's a whole night. So 13 is the number, Coach. And I think we got some good ones for you. First thing that comes to your mind.
Here we go.
All right, I got the stopwatch. You ready, Coach?
Here we go.
All right, so let's see what he's got. First one up. First thing that comes to your mind. Rick Neuheisel, go.
Players coach.
The Canadian Football League.
A lot of running around.
Mike Singletary.
Hard header, head hunter.
SAT or ACT?
ACT.
Tom Brady or Peyton Manning?
I'm going to go with Peyton Manning.
Pasta or pizza?
Pasta.
Joey Bosa.
Jeez, I'm going to have to go simple. Pass rusher.
Troy Aikman.
What's it go again?
Troy Aikman.
The fourth GOAT.
Best running back you ever played against?
Ricky Williams.
Time. Right on the minute mark. And let's add it up. I know I got you on a couple of ones. Joey Bosa.
Go ahead, some goons.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll revisit a couple of these. 9, 10. Coach got 10 on that one. So good job, Coach. So he says headhunter with the Mike Singletary. A lot of running in the CFL. And for those that don't know, Canadian Football League, Coach had a great year, 10 years, I believe. Much bigger field than the NFL in college. So bigger there. He says that best running back, Ricky Williams, huh?
He was.
Well, what made Ricky so special?
He was a powerful runner. You better come with it because he will run you over and keep
going. He's a load, man.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. So you guys have it right there. Once again, the lightning round. Coach got 10, and great job. We're on to our Q&A section of the show, and then we're going to let Coach go because he's got some things to do. He's got to go yell at some people and blow some whistles. So we're on to the Q&A portion of the show, Coach. And I wanted to ask you, for the athletes that are watching, the parents, there's going to be athletes watching the recording of this. A lot of them dream D1. Obviously, you know, I work with athletes, D1. You played D1, I did, so did Q. You know, there's pros and cons. Realistically, please give us your opinion of the level of competition at the D2 level. And realistically, can a man get a shot at the pros or Canada out of D2 football?
Yes, there is actually. So there's a lot of talented players. There's some that are actually at Division Ones that didn't make the cut for their grades. So actually, we pick them up and we are able to sign them. We have a lot of NFL teams that came in here, starting with the Arizona Cardinals. They had a pro day. The Las Vegas come in every spring, take the 40 times of the seniors and things like that. I'm also the liaison helping the other players. But here's the thing. Not everybody can go to the NFL or the CFL, you got to do special things, especially if you're going to be, the lower you go, the more you got to do. To me,
talk to
wait.
Facts.
Going to equate with any of those guys. Like, you need to be an All-American. And so how do you do that? It's the same thing we're talking about in those first practices. Like, you got to be good and do what the coaches are telling you to do, right? You got to be a master of your craft and then look to dominate. You know, I tell the guys here, like, shoot, every Saturday there's a college game being played. So if, let's say, a guy from Ohio State had 3 sacks, you got to get 4 or 5. You know, if he had 20 tackles, you got to get 25 or 30. And then when you add them up at the season, they're going to ask all these questions, X, Y, Z, and then there you go. You can't have 6 tackles talking about you going to the NFL.
No, that's a good point, Coach. And you guys got to understand that. You know, I was talking to a young man the other day. He's at a D2 university. I said, you got to do your research. When's the last time a Division II running back has gone to the NFL? Whoever that is, what were their numbers when they left? Because I guarantee they were dynamite. You know, how many carries, how many touchdowns, how many catches, you know, do your research, you know.
We had Colts. He had 110 tackles, and he signed there. Saskatchewan Roughriders call and ask about him a little bit to do their homework. But you got to do stuff like that if you want to have an opportunity.
And you probably have to play young, right, at the Division II. If you're trending to be a possible pro kid at the D2 level, you're probably playing young.
Well, there's a kid, actually, both of them. One was 26. He was 26 years old. Actually, he signed with the Falcons.
Did he play baseball?
He did not. He played rugby.
Okay.
The other kid,
Alani.
Yeah, Alani Putitau.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Well, yeah, it's about production. Like Coach said, it's not that you can't. It's just that your production is gonna have to be ridiculous, you know, just simply because they're not really gonna deny you in regards to your ability. It's about your competition is why, you know, that, you know, on the professional level, CFL, NFL, that it might be a question mark, you know, but those guys, they get in the camp and they stay the course and destroying guys just the same and show that they belong to be there. So,
and character is huge. Things that you do off the field is huge.
Yeah.
All right. How you treat people, it goes a long way too.
Yeah. That's big.
Thanks.
Well, hey, there you guys have it. We're not going to keep Coach long because he's got to get back to camp and get after it. And guys are trying to win some jobs. So, Coach, we're definitely going to have you back on. But thanks for taking some time tonight.
Appreciate you.
Coach Woods and Q, nice meeting you. Thank you.
Definitely appreciate you, Coach. Thank you so much.
All right. So there you guys have it, man. That is Coach Ellis, Kai Ellis. Once again, he was a great player. Junior college All-American, went off to University of Washington, and then now he's at Division II Adams State. Very rare, you guys. Very rare, Q, that we get those guys, you know, during this time of year.
Yeah, especially around now,
Yep. So, you know, everybody's kicking off. We got some high school sports kicking off tomorrow. I know some of our kids down south are kicking off literally their first game of the season. Some of you seniors that got a lot riding on this season kicking off tomorrow. Q, talk to them about Houston. When they kicking off in Houston?
Man, I believe they're kicking off next weekend. Yeah, I believe so. Yes, I'm waiting to see what you know, the top teams. We got Allen, seeing with Duncanville down
there.
North
North Shore again?
North Shore again. They got their quarterback is only a sophomore after winning state as a freshman, so that's gonna be huge. You know, so you got Austin Westlake, this, you know, at the top of their game. So Katie. So it's hey man, it's hot down here, man.
In Texas, man.
It's gonna be
it's just amazing, dude, to see where the game has gotten. I mean, you guys can go on YouTube and get kids that are mic'd up and the whole 9 yards. Like, it's next level in Texas and in Cali, and you know, we're wishing all of you guys the best of luck this season. Stay healthy, stay mentally healthy, continue to pump up your teammates. Don't hate on nobody. Focus on your lane and focus on your goals, okay? Q, before we get out, anything you want to say to the people?
Hey, again, kind of piggybacking what you said, Coach, just guys, it's a long season, okay? Take care of your body, ice, get good food in you, try to stay away from fast food. And just be careful. As you can see again with a key with off the field issues. If you know it's somewhere you're not supposed to be, get home and use Uber. Do not drive.
Use Uber, man.
Yeah,
use Uber.
please get home safely.
Man.
Get home safe.
Usually you guys can feel it in your spirit or your heart if you're not supposed to be somewhere.
Yeah,
you can feel it. Come on, because we all been there. You can feel it. So just trust your feeling. All right. So we love you guys. Hey, kick butt this season. This is your season. Take it. You got to take it. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you.
This is it. Seniors.
This is it, boy.
Hey,
it's football.
Parents are seniors. This is it.
Football.
This is it.
So
strap it up.
We love y'all. I see Jimmy, Eric, good advice, coach. I know your boys are strapping it up. Tories in Alabama doing this thing. Jay, you guys get after it. We love you guys, and we'll see you at the top. Have a good one.